Okay, so here's the first part of Project 7. You're going to open up Photopea on another tab, photopea.com. Okay. Then you are going to open your image. File, open. Okay. Remember, it's not going to open from Google Drive. It's only going to open from downloads. So what I want to do here is I want to select the sky by itself so I can do something to it and not mess up the foreground. So first things first, I'm going to go to, this is layers, layer, here they are. I'm going to go to layer, duplicate layer, and I'm going to call this one sky. That way I know what I'm working with, and I'm not going to mess with my main layer. Now, these little eyeballs turn the layers on and off. So when you turn them off, you don't see them, right? But the gray is the selection. So like whatever you're working on is gray. If you're working on the wrong thing, it can be trouble. So in this case, since we want to select this guy, meaning we only want to change the sky in this image, bear with me, you're going to click right here for sky. All right. Now you're going to go over here on the side, this palette, this is our tools. The top has a little thing called the magic wand, but there's a little thing in the corner. If you click it, it'll give you some options. You can play with it, but I like to use object selection. Now, there are different tools up here for object selection. Some of them work better than others. I'm going to just try to select the sky with this little box. Okay. Now, this happens to me a lot where it barely selects anything. I don't know what's up with that. But I'm going to go select, deselect. I'm going to try one of these other options up here. For some reason that seems to help. That's actually maybe pretty close to where you're going to get to. I'm just going to try them all though. I just go to select, deselect each time and just sort of try it again. That's pretty good. I'm going to go with that. All right. So you can see these little squiggly lines here. That's your selection. But right now it is far from perfect. It is far from the entire sky. It's not what we want. So I'm going to go to this thing here called, before they do that, my bad. I'm going to go to select inverse. Okay, why am I doing that? You'll see later. You got to go to select inverse. Okay, then you're going to go to this button here called refine edge. So when you open this thing here, it's going to give you two little boxes. And basically what you do to this box ends up affecting this box. So in Photopea and Photoshop, pretty much all editing software, you're going to see those little gray and white boxes. They're there because that is a symbol for clear, see-through, transparent. It's not white. It's clear. It's see-through. And that's what you want. Okay. So this white, gray, and black is going to let you choose whether you want to get rid of something, keep something, or blend something. This is the size of the tool you're working with. So I'm going to turn mine down. Actually, for this outside part, you might as well have a pretty big one. Now, if you push the black, this is what happens. Now, let's look at what happens on the right. See, it's like an eraser. It clears it out. So I'm going to use this first just to get rid of all them corners and make sure they're all good. Okay. So that part's pretty easy. Unless your computer's running really, really slow, which mine is not. Okay, so I cleared all that junk out, right? Now, if the black clears it out, then certainly the white is going to do the opposite. It's going to add things in. And I can see here that this tree should be over here, and it's not. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm just going to kind of just clear it out a little bit so that the tree comes back. All right, now this is really the last step. It's called a refine edge. I mean, this right here, this gray, this is a little confusing, but what it ultimately does is it kind of blends both together so that you sort of got a fuzzy edge. So for instance, this gray, I feel like the edge of this tree should be a little blendy. So it doesn't look so weird and obvious. So I'm just going over here on the edge of this tree. And I'm going to blend it a little. Okay, so if you look over on the right, you can see it just like looks a little more natural. And then I'm going to do the same thing here along the edge of this tree. It's a popular thing to do for I think like a furry thing or like a kitty or somebody's hair or something like that. I can also see that there's some pieces right here, like this little Tiny John is not showing up. Oh, whoops, I used the wrong one, see? So I'm going to go back to white. Turns out I need white for that. And that'll add back in that little, I don't know, chimney or whatever. And then right here, I'm going to add that little thing in there so that it's, comes back to being attached. Right now, it kind of looks like it's floating maybe. Then let's see, what else we're missing? Well, we got a little bit of a tree here. I can see some black right here. Now I'm kind of being nitpicky. It doesn't really have to be that perfect. Being a little bit too crazy, but I get like that. And then I go back to the gray and I just kind of, I don't know, put that on top of little areas where the sky meets the building. Anywho, just it's called Refine Edge. You can be as picky about it as you want to be. I notice that sometimes when I have too much of that gray in there, you'll see it'll really pop up later. So I try to make that edge as nice as I can. I do feel like I'm missing this little spot and maybe this little spot right here on the side. So I'm going down picky road and I shouldn't be, but that's the way I am sometimes. Okay. I'm just going to go for it. All right. So now we have the sky basically removed, right? So you're going to push okay. Now you'll be able to see that this has changed. The one that says sky has changed, right? So I'm going to turn off the main and now you can see there's nothing back there. It's completely empty. So what's next? Now I went to this website right here, Pexels, and I typed in bees. I found a picture and anyway, I downloaded it using this little symbol for download. Okay. And now I'm going to open that image right underneath this one. So bear with me. You're going to go to File, Open in Place. Okay, not File Open, Open in Place. And then you're going to click on the image and open it. It's going to open right on top of everything else. Now, first things first, you got to stretch it out so that it actually covers your whole other image, right? Push return, always stretch by the corner. And then I'm going to move this over in the layers palette. I'm going to drag it all the way to the bottom. And you can see now that I've got that replaces my sky, right? So now you can see all the little mistakes and weirdness on these edges, but whatever, we're not going to be that picky. Okay, so now here's the thing. You can just go for it like that if you want to. But we've already done the hard part, and the rest of it is the easy part, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the eyeball on to my main layer, and I'm going to select, using Shift. I just push Shift, and I selected these at the same time, right? I can go to Normal up here and go to Multiply, and what happens is that it's going to combine the sky with the flower so that you kind of have both of them, all right? There's so much you can do after this that's real easy. I'm going to change this layer order. It won't let me do it. Hang on. There we go. I had to unselect it. And sometimes that'll change it if you put them in a different order. Also, you can change the opacity on the layers. So like I can turn down the flower a little bit so it's like less flower, I can also try all these different ones. There's so many different ones. They do all kinds of things. So when you go from multiply, you can go down to all kinds of things. Screen overlay. I mean, I usually use multiply, but if you find one that you like better, go for it. You can see, ooh, I kind of like that one. That's interesting to me. Like it's really just taking the color of the sky. I like that. Anyways, now I'm going down a road that you guys don't need to go down if you don't want to. But anyway, multiply, okay? I think I'm going to go back to this one and change the opacity again because I kind of liked it when it was brighter. Um, I think too on this main layer, since I have this on, see, it'll protect this bottom part from changing. I could go here and I can just do whatever I want here. I can go to image adjustments, hue saturation, and I can change the actual sky layer to make it more saturated if I want to, bring some of that blue in there. You can push filter and add filters. You can do whatever you want to that section because you have already made a layer up here that protects the bottom from being changed by any changes that you make, right? So I'm going to go ahead and be done with it now. I'm going to go to File, Export as JPEG. Make sure this is quality 100%. I will call this project 7. Save. And now it should be in your downloads and ready to turn in. Okay, and that's it. Now I have to figure out how to actually stop this vid because I'm not really sure. Okay, here it is.